And we then composited that series of elements together with this result. Now in this stage of compositing, we haven't done the final color corrections. That's why these gentlemen here appear a bit on the blue side, and this appears a bit little on the bright side. None of that final color correcting has been done at this stage of the shot. That will be done later when all the elements are combined.
First into the printer goes the river element, together with a mat to protect the cliff, and a mat to make holes for the puppets. And so the river is rephotographed onto a new piece of film. Then the first falling puppet, together with a mat to protect everything else, is printed into its hole. And similarly for the other two falling puppets. Then the painted cliff with its mat and the articulate mat for Indy's dangling legs. Then the main live action, now with the legs over the painting. And finally, the crocodiles are exposed in as simple black silhouettes. So after passing the film 7 times through the printer, it's finished.
All that for about 2 seconds on your screen.
This is one of the robot cameras used at Industrial Light and Magic to photograph the falling dummies, the spaceships, tumbling minecars and so on. It's computer controlled. The same computer controls the movements of the puppet, or in this case a police helicopter. The helicopter's move has been carefully choreographed, and this run is being filmed as a final test to see how well the cameramen have programmed what the storyboard called for. At night, a police chopper is surprised by seeing a funny little spacecraft. The police swing right round it and finally hover to look in a position where we share the pilot's line of view. This is their black and white test. Here, they're on their way. See it? Swing round. And finally, hover to look. And that's what they decided to shoot on proper colour film against a blue screen. The camera only shoots at about 1/10 of the normal speed because the equipment is heavy and it would strain it to move faster. That's why the blades are turning so slowly. And for part of the shot, a small blue screen is slid behind the undercarriage. This is to stop it merging with the rod that supports the model. At normal speed, the blades and the man will be speeded up. This then is the film from that take. It's called the beauty pass, the one that records the helicopter's hull shape. It's the accurate repetition of a move that's the important feature of these cameras. This move will be repeated with a pass for the searchlight. For that, the studio's filled with smoke to make the beam stand out. This is how that looked. If we add this to the beauty pass, you can begin to see the way the shots build up. See the searchlight beam realistically catching the helicopter as the computer moves it. These superimpositions create magic. This was the beauty pass for Darth Vader's ship landing at night. The navigation lights, the lights striking upward from the airport below. All of them were superimposed on a painting that had the Death Star high in the night sky. space battles became more amazing with each new Star Wars film. By the time this scene was put together, one man had become the specialist in choreographing shots like these.
Obviously, I've flown more spaceships than anyone alive, I think, as far as, movies are concerned.
Ken Ralston created most of the battles in Return of the Jedi. He and Bill Kimberlin, his editorial assistant, have put together the most complex special effects shot ever made. It's the 19th shot in the space battle, called SB-19. Lucas wanted it to be spectacular.
I think it did get more complex just because George wanted a more wow shot at that moment, just something just to take your breath away.
This is SB-19 in slow motion. There are 63 separate spaceships on the move. To fit these ships together took 170 separate little rolls of film. It was Bill Kimberlin's job to organize the ships into a convincing scene.
Each piece of film represents a different ship, whether it be an enemy ship or a good guy's ship, and each one has to be dealt with and choreographed with the next one beside it. And the idea is to try and make them fly in some type of formation. So when you have this many different elements, this many different spaceships, the way that I decided would be best to approach it is to take one particular element and then draw a cell of it. And I'm going to run the moviola one frame at a time and take a cell and draw out the pattern of the ship's movement by drawing each frame of the ship where it makes a significant move to give me some idea of the position of the ship as it moves away. Okay. I forgot to number that frame. Let's see, about there.
He plots the path of the ship into the distance.
Getting very small now. So that would probably be good enough to show me where it's going. If I make a number of these, of different ships, then I can plot it out.
We probably were on it 3 months off and on. Probably would take maybe 3 weeks to get all the elements by one camera crew. We actually had I had 4 camera crews working on other shots. But 4 weeks just for that, then a great deal of time to, like with Bill, to start layering it in and see what worked, what didn't work.
I then draw out every ship that's going to be in the shot. I build up a whole series of waves of ships so they can start to get a handle on what kind of choreography is going to work.
He's making the fighters attack in waves of 8.
What the pattern is like of a bunch of ships running all at the same time.
Here he's about to check his pattern for the first 16 fighters. The 16 black and white work prints of those fighters have been superimposed on this test film.
I have to deal with all the garbage that's in the frame other than the ships. So just concentrating on the ships, I kind of like the movement. These are the ships, and these are various flags and light stands. Now I can change these relationships if I want, or I can go with this. I kind of like the way this one.
That leaves 47 ships still to add.
Then it's time to send all the negative elements to optical to make a color composite. And this represents, as far as I know, the largest special effects shot that's ever been done. It has a total of 63 elements, and all of these X's indicate